Greetings, my friends. It is time to take a closer look and a detailed look at the Guardian changes and Juggernaut changes expected and officially announced from BioWare with their first blog, upcoming changes for the Sith Warrior and the Jedi Knight for Patch 4.0. If you have seen already my video of the Marauder and Sentinel changes, the first few minutes of this video may seem the same to you because I will go over the same global changes quickly and very briefly. If you want more detailed opinion and explanation, I would advise you to visit and watch the other video, even though you may not play Sentinel and Marauder as your favorite. Now let me disappear so you don't want to watch my ugly face. The important part here is this. These are the changes. Of course, it seems weird maybe to some of you, those who haven't seen and visited my website yet. It is the exact same article, but I'm referencing it on my website. Global changes to the general class and combat changes. Tier 1 for the utilities will be granted at level 17, 25 and 33, up from 11, 19, 27. Let me show you exactly what BioWare means by this. When you open one of these trees, well, maybe just inspect it, you will see that these special circles with triangles inside them mark at what level we receive utilities. BioWare is just changing the levels at which we receive these. So instead of 11, 20, 19, 27, 35, 43, 51 and 60, they're making it a little bit more balanced according to the new high level cap 65. So tier 1 is going to be 17, 25, 33, tier 2 is going to be 41 and 49, and tier 3 will be 57 and 65. This makes up again for a total of 7 utility points, which is a little bit disappointing, but considering how much BioWare is relying on the story content with 4.0, we wouldn't mind not having another utility point, even though we are gaining 5 new levels. They promised us that at some point with the scaling levels, we will keep getting new utility points because we do have new utilities included, and we will talk about that a little bit later on when we see the exact changes for the class. What else I want to tell you is that BioWare is also altering the positionings and the levels for some of the abilities, but let's take it a little bit slower. So, starting at level 10, you will get a new discipline-specific active ability every 16 levels. So this is level 10, 26, and so on. The only changes comparing to 3.0 are that you will get your third active ability at level 42 instead of level 41, and your fourth ability will be granted to you at level 58 instead of 57. What this means is that at level 10, in this case, for this example, the Vigilance Guardian will be getting Plasma Brand at level 10, Overhead Slash at level 26. Here is the first change. Sheehan Form will be granted to the player at level 42 instead of 41, because 41 minus 16 isn't 26, obviously, that's where BioWare is moving it. And Vigilant Thrust will be granted to us at level 58, again for the same reason. I don't know exactly what their specific reason is to move these. To me, it's just mathematical. They want to make it even every 16 levels in this case. And the next one, Discipline Passive Ability Grant levels. They will be happening to us every 4 levels, beginning at level 12. The only change compared to 3.0 is instead of getting a passive ability at level 59, we will get one at level 60, and then the next one at 64. Again, one each 4 levels. We begin at 12 and we go 12 plus 4, 16, 20, 24, and so on and so on. The changes are made here. Smoldering Saber will remain the same for now at least. They're just moving it from level 59 to level 60, and at level 64 we will get a new one that we will learn about in a moment. The global changes for the Sith Warrior and Jedi Knight include, this is the same ability apparently that will be granted to everybody, both Juggernauts and Marauders, both Guardians and Sentinels. New active ability, Mad Dash, Blade Blitz. It dashes forward 20 meters, dealing weapon damage to enemies in your path and increasing your defense chance by 100% while dashing. Cannot be used while immobilized or hindered. This will be altered with a special tier 3 new utility. I will tell you about it later on. This new ability has a 45-second cooldown, making it not exactly as spammable as Force Charge or Force Leap. And it can be learned at level 61. I don't know why BioWare keeps telling us that, since with the current system and they haven't announced any change to it, all of our active abilities are automatically given to us as soon as we gain level. So at level 61, we don't anymore need to visit a trainer like it used to be in the past. We will just automatically get the new ability. There is another change. Master Strike has been renamed to Blade Dance, and Jedi Knight's Master Strike ability has been renamed to Blade Dance because SWTOR form reduces the focus gain by strike abilities. Let's go and check a little bit more into detail. The SWTOR form is the tanking form for the Guardian. It enters defensive lightsaber form, increasing armor rating by 60%, damage reducing by 6%, shield chance by 50%, threat generation by 100%, and accuracy by 10%. While active, all damage dealt is reduced by 1%, and here is the important part in the very end. All strike abilities generate one less focus. Since at the moment Master Strike has a strike in the title, it will not be affected by this. It currently isn't, and those of us who play the game long enough will probably know about it already. We have learned it the harder or the easier way. But new players may be confused, and that's why BioWare just decided to rename Master Strike to a Blade Dance. And I have my web camera off, but I'm literally dancing here around like a crazy stupid person. Continuing after that, we skipped the Marauder and Sentinel because we already discussed them in a separate video, and we are going over the changes for the Juggernaut and Guardian. Immortal and Defense, this is the tanking spec. New passive skill, Defensive Slashes, Defensive Swings. Ravage, or Blade Dance, remember Blade Dance is the new name for Master Strike, grants a stacking increase to defense chance with each hit. It stacks up to 3 times. Each stack increases defense chance by 2%, up to 6% with 3 stacks. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6%. Wow, very basic math. This effect lasts for 6 seconds, and each hit refreshes the duration, so it lasts for 8.7 seconds total while scaling up to full strength with no alacrity, remember. And the full strength portion lasts a full 6 seconds. It is complicated, but when you get to try it, I'm sure that you will understand it, me as well, of course, a lot better. Backhand Hilt Bash is now trained at level 42 instead of level 41. Let's visualize this. At level 41, we have a Hilt Bash, which smacks the target for kinetic damage. It's different depending on your level and gear. Stunning the target also for 4 seconds. This ability generates a high amount of threat, very useful. The ability on its own and its boost and its description is not going to change, at least for now. Remember, between here and the launch of the expansion, many other things may be changed, but I actually highly doubt that they will. So what BioWare is doing is just moving this ability from level 41 to level 42. The next one is Invincible and Warding Call is now trained at level 58 instead of 57. This is Warding Call for the Guardian tank. It reduces damage taken by 40% for 10 seconds with a 3-minute cooldown. Quite an OP skill. I hate people using that against me in PvP. The last change is Pillar of Strength or Beacon of Might. It is now trained at level 60 instead of 59. That's the last passive boost ability that we will learn currently. Beacon of Might reduces the cooldown of Warding Call by 30 seconds and increases the damage dealt by Hilt Bash and Guardian Slash by 30 seconds. Instead of level 59, we will get that automatically at level 60 now. Vengeance and Vigilance is the first DPS spec, middle DPS spec amongst the 3. I don't know why I always call them middle. There is no middle anymore. There is just first, second, and third. New passive skill called Blood Master or Burn Master. Each bleed or burn you have active on an enemy target increases the damage you deal with bleeds and burns by 5%. This effect only stacks once per bleed or burn type, up to 3 times. For example, you can only have 1 from Shatter Plasma Brand, 1 from Eviscerate Burning Purpose, and 1 from Draining Scream Burning Blade. So you will not benefit 8 times if you had Shatter Plasma Brand on 8 different targets. This is actually a smart move. And I am imagining that BioWare forgot to mention it here, but in most cases the percentages mentioned are always subject to change within testing. Bloodmaster ability 2 tip for clarity. For each of your bleeding effects active on an enemy target, you deal 5% more bleed damage up to a maximum of 15% more bleed damage, while Shatter, Training Scream, and Eviscerate are each bleeding a target. Sheen Form is now trained at level 42 42 instead of level 41. We know about that already because we talked a little bit about it. There is the Sheen Form instead of 41. It will be the same ability. Maybe something will be changed in the future. Again, this is maybe. Remember, I don't know why I keep repeating it, but it's important because if you watch this video in January 2016, things may be different. But remember, when the video has been recorded, this is the exact first time we receive any real news about any class changes. Every week, we will keep getting class changes in this form of a devlog. By the way, a day before I recorded this video, BioWare also released a story recap for the Jedi Knight and for the Sith Warrior. You can also find them on my website or on the official SWTOR.com website if you prefer. Keep going with the changes. Vengeful Slam and Vigilant Thrust is now trained at level 58 instead of 57. There it is. Vigilant Slam and Vigilant Thrust, will go from 57 to 58 without changes to its description. Gushing Veins, Smoldering Saber is now trained at level 60 instead of 59. That's again the last passive. Absolutely the same changes BioWare is doing throughout all of the 3 specs, so I guess it's maybe time to speed up a little bit. Rampage, Zen Strike is now trained at level 16, down from 36. This is an interesting move. They don't explain why, but let's take a closer look, shall we? Because maybe some of us have forgotten what the ability does. Zen Strike is a passive ability currently granted to us at level 36. Plasma Brand finishes the active cooldown on Master Strike and generates 3 focus. This to me sounds like a very nice improvement for PvP lobbies and for PvE leveling as well. Remember, at level 16, we barely have a handful of abilities. Even the Sentinel, who has the most Sentinel, Jedi Knight, I should say, globally. Although the Sentinel has more abilities than the Jedi Knight, than the Guardian, but let's not go over that discussion again, because some of you will hate me, I know, especially those of you who prefer Guardian players. What I meant to say is at lower levels, we do have only a few abilities that are actually useful, especially for PvP, and having another passive boost that will cut the cooldown on Master Strike, or it's gonna be Blade Dance, is very useful. Next, Draining Scream and Burning Blade is now trained at level 20, up from 16. So because at level 16 we had another ability, they're just shuffling things up. Let's see. Burning Blades from level 60 is going up to level 20. Because remember, we need to have those every 4 levels. And the next one, Eviscerate Burning Purpose, is now trained at level 36, up from 28. Again, another little bit of reshuffle. Burning Purpose, instead of 28, it's going to go up to the slot of 36. What do we have next? Ravage Master Focus is now trained at level 28, up from level 20. Currently at level 20 slot, we have, forgive me, I got lost for a moment. Master Strike dealing 20% more damage is the passive boost from Master Focus, and it's gonna jump up from 20 to 28. So it's an interesting reshuffle. Those of you who play main Guardian and who have leveled Guardian and Juggernaut enough times may leave a comment, and I would be very grateful to see what do you guys think. Would this be useful change? Will this be kind of a nerf for leveling and for lobby PvP, or maybe make things interesting? For the Rage and Focus discipline, a quick overview so we can visualize what we're talking about. New passive skills called Enveloping Rage or Protective Focus. Raging Burst and Focus Burst and Smash and Force Sweep will grant 5% damage reduction for 6 seconds. Cool buff, I should say. Reducing damage taken is always nice for both PvP and PvE. Force Crush, Force Exhaustion is now trained at level 42 instead of 41. This is the exact same change as they have made it already multiple times. Force Exhaustion is the very nice utility that boosts your stacks and allows you to use Smash. Furious Strike, Concentrated Slice is now trained at level 58 instead of 57. Concentrated Slice is an ability that does a huge amount of weapon damage and attacks with both weapons if dual wielding. It has a 9-second cooldown and melee range. Furious Power and Concentrated Power is now trained at level 60 instead of 59. This is the last passive boost that usually, and in this case, it's not a mistake. While SWTOR form is active, Concentrated Slice enables riposte and beats down its target for 45 seconds. Beat down target take 5% more damage from melee. Usually what I meant to say, but I lost my train of thoughts, is that the passive from 59 boosts the active from 57. So the new passive from 60 will boost the new active from level 58. The changes to the utilities. In Tier 1 Skillful, we will get a new utility called Unshackling Rage or Focused Freedom. When activated, Enrage Combat Focus removes movement impairing effect and immobilizes and slow, that's what they mean, and increases the Juggernaut's Guardian's movement speed by 50% for the next 6 seconds. Sounds like a very useful utility to me. In Tier 2, we will get another new utility, Warbringer Ardent Advocate. Force Charge or Leap enables your next Vicious Throw or Dispatch to be used on a target with any health level for 15 seconds after the activation. This is an incredibly good boost in my personal opinion, and I would love to test Guardian with this one. And it's also Tier 2, which means it will be available to you quite soon in the leveling process. Remember, we get the 4th utility point. We will get the 4th utility point at level 41. The last change to Tier 3 Heroic utility is another new utility, Through Victory, Cut Looses. Mad Dash and Blade Blitz can be used while mobilized and purges immobilization and slow effects when activated. And the last line, in the coming weeks we will cover the remaining classes and advanced classes, so will I. In the remaining weeks I will cover them as well. I want to make a comparison here between Tier 3 Heroic for the Jedi Knight, for the Guardian and for the Sentinel. Let's take a look. Through Victory and Cut Looses. Scrolling up to check out the same Heroic new utility, it's exactly the same. I don't know if that's a mistake or a typo, or maybe BioWare ran out of ideas, but both advanced classes will have the same boosts, at least for now. Remember, things may change. Both of them affect the new ability. This is it. Thank you very much for hopefully enjoying this video. If you did, you know how to show it to me. Leave a nice comment. If you don't like something, wow, leave an angry comment. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you think it was horribly wrong. Yes, this is more like an overview, unlike with the Sentinel and Marauder changes, where I have a much deeper impact and knowledge about their changes and their specific skills. Here, we did more like a brief overview. Well, not very brief. I see the video is closing 20 minutes. Wrapping up. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. See you within the next one. Bye-bye. Remember, you can find me also on Twitch, Twitter and Facebook. For my non-Star Wars activities, I invite you to subscribe to my second YouTube channel.